In this lecture, we'll be talking about strings. So if suppose you have got a string like this with you, and if you want to print it in the output part, as an output if you want to print it, so this is how you can do it, right? Simple, using this simple print command. Now, what is this looping through a string? How can you do this? We can loop through the characters in a string also using for loop. For that, you guys need a variable, let's say x, and this is the for loop which we guys are going to use for looping through this string. Okay, so what is the output you are going to get? That's what we are going to check out now. But for getting the output, we need to make use of this print command, and this is what you're going to get as an output. So every character of this string is going to get printed like this in the output part. Fine. Now if you want to check the length of a particular string, so there is a simple command in Python which you can use for checking the length. Let's enter a string here. Let's define a string for this variable a first. Let's say hello world. Fine. And then let's print the length of a. So this is a function which you guys can use for printing the length of a, or for checking out the length of a. len stands for length. Okay, so this is what you're going to get as an output. Now why you are getting 12 in the output part? How many characters are there in the string? 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11, and there is one space in between hello and world, so it will also be counted in the length. Okay, in the length part, remember this thing. Now suppose if you have got a string like this: the best things in life are free. Fine. Suppose you have got a string like this, stored in a variable, and if you want to find out whether the word free is in this string which is there stored in this variable or not, how can you do that? So for doing that, there is a simple word that you have to use. See, you are checking for free right now. You are checking for free, right? So whether it is present in this string or not, that's what we are checking. So this is how you can do it. Free in txt. Txt is a variable in which the string is present, right? So when you will press enter, automatically this is what you're going to get as an output in case this word is there present in this string. So free is there in this string over here, so that is the reason we are getting true. If it would had not been there in this string, so the answer that we will be getting here will be false. Let's copy this whole thing and put it here. Fine. And now what I am going to do, I am going to make use of if loop, if free in txt. So what I would like to do, I would like to get this thing printed in the output part. Yes, free is present. Okay, this is what I would like to see in the output part. So this is how you can apply this if loop on a particular string. Okay, now let's talk about slicing. So this is again a very cool topic. What happens in this? You can return a range of characters by using the slice syntax. Fine. What you have to do, you have to specify the start index and the end index separated by a colon to return a part of the string. Let me explain it to you practically. Suppose you've got a variable, and here inside this variable you have got a string stored like this. Fine. So the index of this character is 0. This one is the index of this character is 1. Index of this one is 2, then 3, then 4, and then this space, the index of this space is 5. The index of this is 6, then 7, 8, 9, 10. So you have to just keep this thing in mind, that the index starts from 0. Okay, now if you will pass a command like this. Suppose, what is the name of the variable in which the string is there? It is b. So if you want to slice it, this is how you can do it. So what we have done here, we have mentioned the name of the variable in which the string is present, in which we have stored the string. Then this is the start index and this is the end index. Now the output which you are going to get is this. Why you are not able to see this space over here? Just because the index of this space is 5. So this thing is not going to return, or this thing which we have passed over here, it is not going to print this space over here. Let me do one more thing. Let's eliminate this space and pass this command again over here. So this is what you're going to get as an output. Now the index of this character is 2, the index of this one is 3, and this one is 4. So the character whose index is 5, it is not going to get printed. Alright, so this is how slicing strings can be done. Suppose you pass a command like this. Fine. If you'll pass a command like this, what is going to happen? This is what you're going to get is in the output part. Why? Just because we have not mentioned the start index. So from wherever the string is starting, suppose it is starting from here, so all the characters till index 4 are going to get printed in the output part, but the characters which are falling, the character which is falling on index 5 or after that, we will not be able to see them in the output. Okay, so you have to remember these basic things. How can we modify strings? So suppose Python has a set of built-in methods that you can use on strings. For example, uppercase. Let's talk about uppercase first. If you have got a string like let me enter my name, Gaurav Kumar Jain. If you have got a string like this stored in a particular variable, now if you want to see everything in caps, so this is a function which you can make use of for seeing everything which we have, all the characters which we have used in this string in capital letters. Fine. Likewise, if you want to see everything in lowercase, so there is a function called lower with which you can get an output like this. So every character is in lowercase right now. Okay. Now if you want to remove any white spaces from the beginning or in the end, if you want to remove any white spaces from the beginning or the end of a string, what is the function you guys can use for doing that? So there is a function with name strip which you guys can make use of. Okay, because we haven't got any spaces in the beginning or in the end, so that is the reason the changes are not visible to you. Let me just define this string. Now we have got some spaces in the beginning and some spaces at the end. So when you will print this when we will print this string, so this is how you're going to get the output. Now here you can see that there are some spaces over here. If you want to eliminate these spaces, we can make use of this command, strip. Okay, this is a function which you guys can use for eliminating the spaces in the beginning or at the end of the string. Okay, now if suppose you want to replace any character of this string with some other character, what you guys can do, you guys can make use of a replace function. There is a function with name replace. Suppose you want to suppose let's replace a, okay, this is small a with j. I haven't closed this bracket. Yeah, so all the a's have now got replaced with these j's over here. So that's how you can replace any character or characters in a particular string with some other character. So the next thing that we are going to talk about is string concatenation. To concatenate or combine two strings, you can make use of plus operator. Let me show it to you with the help of an example here. If suppose this is a string which I have got in this variable a, and this is a string which I have stored in this variable b. Now if suppose I want to see these two things together, if you want to concatenate these two strings, what we can do it like this. Okay, so what we have done, we have sum up these two strings and stored the result in this variable c. When you will now pass this command print c, this is what you are going to get over here. Now if you want to see some space in between this string and this one, what you can do, you can store the value of the sum of a and b, the sum of values of a and b, like this. So what we have done here, what is the difference between this command and this which we have passed over here? Here we have defined a space in between a and b. So now when you will pass this command, this is what you're going to see as in the output part. Okay, so that's how you can concatenate two or more strings using plus operator. Thank you very much for attending this lecture.